Well, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. We want to welcome you to Limestone Middle School. I'm Mr. Taylor. I'm the assistant principal on behalf of myself and the Shavers, who's right over there. We want to welcome you to our fabulous spring band concert for all of our bands, including jazz band. We're very, very excited. They've been practicing really hard. They got some great tunes set up for you this evening. If you would take a moment right now and take your cell phones out and switch them over to Do Not Disturb. That way we can enjoy the performance together. And then if you notice, the bathrooms are on the other side of our stage. So if you're going to wait to head out to get a drink or use a restroom break until it's between acts, that would be great. We're going to get things started. Mr. Trader and the jazz band. Thanks for coming out.
very well. That was the first tune with the jazz band, Absolutely, Positively, Tuesday, Positively. The next one we will be playing is Been There, Done That, and then we'll have a little transition into 5th grade. Hope you enjoy Been There, Done That. All right, that was a very smooth transition. I bet the rest will not be as smooth. Once again, jazz band just finished. Like Mr. Taylor said, they've been working hard, putting in the work. They get up bright and early every Wednesday morning and come to this school at 6:45 to rehearse, to play like that. A lot of extra effort on their part and on the parents' part. So thank you all for supporting that kind of music and jazz band. We are going to start 5th grade now. They have also been working hard. We've got 4 things we're going to play for you. They're going to be a little bit shorter than what the jazz band played, but just as good. All right, 5th grade band. Hope you enjoy. All right, before we play the last piece from fifth grade tonight, I do want to say that a lot of us are putting in some very hard work, and it is paying off. We've made a lot of progress this year. Sixth grade is the year where you will see a ton of progress. You'll be much better if you do it in sixth grade. Please do. Percussion has been waiting all year to start playing on the drum. This is the first line in the book that they have played on the drum, and I think we're very excited and pumped to be finally playing the drum. I wanted to make them wait, so they appreciate it that much more. All right, final line for fifth grade tonight, Indigo Rock. I hope you enjoy it. Sixth grade band, come on down, let's set up. While we are switching, the sixth grade has also been putting in the work. Sixth grade and seventh grade will be playing at the eighth grade promotion ceremony this year. So if you're going to be there, listen for us. And if you're not going to be there, maybe come out and support the band. It'll be a good time. All right, in just a few minutes, we'll get started with the sixth grade band. I hope you enjoy the bit of chaos we have going on. All right, we are all set to go. This is the sixth grade concert band. We'll be playing pieces tonight, Culture Dance, and Gigong. I hope you enjoy. please hold. Sixth grade band, if you participated in solo and ensemble, please stand up now or raise your hand. Solo and ensemble is an elective thing. They choose to do it, they put in the work on their own, and they perform on their own. I believe all of the sixth graders who participated got a rating of 1, which is the highest. Everybody in the back got honorable mention for performance of the day in our solo and ensemble. Solo and ensemble participants, at the end, your medals and your score sheets are over on that table for you to retrieve. Okay, 6th grade, you are dismissed. 7th and 8th grade, please join the party. All right, we are measuring set for 7th and 8th grade. 7th and 8th grade band participates in the IESA organizational contest. We went about a week and a half ago. We've had 10 days since competing in contest to prepare for a concert. One of our pieces is from contest. We've made some improvements since contest, but we did get a very high ranking in the 2 category, almost a 1 at organizational contest. Very close. This first piece was our opener at contest. It is called Zigzag. I hope you enjoy. Okay. 7th and 8th grade solo and ensemble participants, please stand now or raise your hand for percussion. Once again, these students put in time on their own. They learned it on their own. They performed on their own. It's a pretty terrifying thing, but it's a phenomenal experience to make you a better musician. Victor Brown did get Performance of the Day at our solo ensemble contest. Once again, your medals and score sheets are on the table over there. After we finish, you may go get them. Now, if you went to the Canwell Music Festival for band, please stand. This was in October. This is a festival in the annual conference. Students are picked from the directors, students who excel in this area, and they go and play in a monstrous band of a bunch of people from a bunch of different schools and make music together. It's a really cool experience. If you are standing right now, there are ribbons on the table to the left. They're purple, very pretty. You get a ribbon for doing Canwell. Great job, y'all. I would like to thank building admin for being so supportive of music. Hershey Music Boosters, very supportive. The building maintenance, sorry, I forgot the word maintenance. They helped set up a little bit, they got the moves out. I really appreciate that. And all of y'all for supporting music as well. Thank you for being here tonight. I just want to preface this last song, this last piece, and say they have been begging me since I got here to play this. This is it. All right. If you participated in a thingy and got a doohickey, they're on the table. Thank you all for being here tonight. Quick plea, more hands, make for less work. We appreciate any help we can get. Have a phenomenal summer. If I don't see you all again, thank you for being here. Have a great night.